Outdoor Adventures with Bush Jordan Huntsman, sponsored by Aaron Bush Jordan Production. It is November 10th. Happy Veterans Day. This is our tradition to hunt on Veterans Day morning and evening in a new spot. Got a good view of a big open area. Got my brother in here with me. Got a friend, Carlos, and our dads were really good friends, so it's cool to see the next generation do this thing that we love to do every day in the woods when we get out here, so stay tuned. I waited 30 minutes and decided to pull out my black racks to see if I could get some bucks to start moving. Within 5 minutes, I had this small buck come from my backside to see what the commotion was all about. Gotta love the black racks. 15 minutes later, I look to my left, and here is this beautiful 8-pointer about 175 yards out. The 8-pointer ended up going to the back of the field. He met up with a 6-pointer and a hot doe. The hot doe ended up running towards me to my right, and both bucks chased her. Of course, the 8-pointer won that situation. You'll see a 6-pointer come across from my right side to my left. He gave me a good shot, but I decided not to take it. And then I noticed to my left a 5-pointer coming. The 6-pointer ended up going too far out, and I ended up taking a shot on the 5-pointer. Success. I was able to take down a buck. I have seen 5 bucks in less than an hour. It has been just running. The red has come in. The wind is blowing to my face, so it's just perfect conditions. There's one doe out in the field, and she just keeps trying to get around all of them, so they're just roaming through. I can barely get a moment just to chill, because every time I look up, there's a deer. So, but I did get one this morning, so happy about it. I didn't get the kill shot on camera, but the next hunt you will see one drop.
All right, I'm down. I love this cover right here for my gun. Allows it not to get wet in the rain, because right now it's drizzling, and this morning it really poured. Go out here and see what I got. So I shot him somewhere about here. See if I can see any blood in this area. No blood yet. Oh yeah, there's the blood. I was looking for some. There we go. There's some blood. Here's my deer. It's a 5-pointer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I was able to shoot him at roughly 8:45. Lot of activity, insane activity this morning. Deers just kept running through, bucks chasing does. This guy came about 10 minutes later, took the shot. He ran less than 20 yards. Keep going for 2023. All for Dad. I like to dedicate my hunts to 2 very important people that were in my life. The first one is Bub Jackson, who was my mentor and a fellow Spartan from Norfolk State University. The second one is my dad, the Superman of them all. He was just a great inspiration for both the woods and a father figure. My brother was able to take down this beautiful 8-pointer buck before our dad passed away. And my brother won the 7 to 8-pointer class compound bow with that buck. I decided to take a break from the woods and went to a Liberty game with my family. We had a really good time, and of course Trey, being Trey. My brother and I decided to go back into the woods the following week to see what type of activity we had in the same location. I saw a lot of small bucks and does roughly 200 yards out. I was able to call in the smaller bucks within 75 yards, but I decided not to shoot. I really was looking for something bigger. I did a lot of calling, mix it up between bleating and grunting just to see what kind of activity I could get to show up. I just enjoy listening to nature, hearing nature, and of course becoming one with it. I knew as long as I stayed patient, it was just a matter of time that I was going to see something I really would want. It wasn't that day, but that's okay, because my opportunity would come on the next day to see a really big buck. While hunting, I reviewed 2 of my favorite social media platforms for Virginia hunting. One is the Virginia Wall Hanger by James Braswell. He does a really good job of letting users showcase what big bucks they've seen, the activity. The other one is the Virginia Hunting page on Facebook. Both give me really good intel on what's going on. So for this day, I decided to play really aggressive. You notice that I twisted my body around the tree to really give that sound where it doesn't sound as if I'm up a tree. It sounds like I'm on the ground moving around, giving a really realistic sound. I decided to also, behind the racks, to play my favorite caller, which is the Primo's Buck Roar. It just gives a really good sound to the woods. Sounds very natural. Sounds like a big buck is being aggressive and ready to fight. Pay very close attention to smaller bucks when they're in your proximity. I love to look at 2 things. One, their tail, and also their ears. And as you can see, this small buck is telling me something is behind him. And behold, there is a beautiful 8-pointer buck out in the field. I was trying to figure out why this big buck would move, and then I noticed a hot doe with him, and I knew it was going to take some work to get him to come in. I knew I was able to get this buck's attention by doing the snort wheeze and the buck grunt. I wanted to ensure that I show you exactly how to call in a big buck, so I did not do a lot of editing on this video. I really want you to understand how to call in a big buck. You want to pay attention to 2 things: their body language and also how they're listening to your calls. And this buck went up to a small pine tree, and I knew from that point on that he was at least engaging with the activity of me calling to him. At this moment, this is when hunters will usually overcall to a big buck and send them the opposite direction. You want to stay patient. 20 minutes later, the big buck walked over to some larger pine trees and really got aggressive, creating these monster rubs. I knew I really had him upset. I decided to play a symphony of buck sounds, starting with the black racks, then to the buck roar grunting, and I finished with a snort wheeze. And as you can see, this buck could no longer take it. He had to come over and see what was going on. And I was so excited to see this buck come across a field 200 plus yards to give me a 60-yard shot. And it will just go down as an epic hunt for me. Mark. Mark.
I think I smoked that buck. Woo, he really worked me. I had to pull out all my callers in regards to bleeding, snorting, wheezing, and riling, of course. Took me about 30 minutes to finally make him leave his doe. And she must have bedded down out in the field. And he said, man, let me go over there and see what all that ruckus is. So I kept working him. He actually stopped about 200 yards out, reversed it. You'll see me call him right back in. He turned, and he could not take that snort wheeze. And he gave me a good 60-yard shot, broadside, and he dropped. But then he got up about, I would say 10 seconds later. He walked about 10 yards, and he dropped again, so I'm hoping he's down. I'm going to stay up until it gets dark, and hopefully me and my brother have something to drag out the woods. Had my brother come out to the field, make sure he couldn't get up, because I wasn't sure what happened. So here's the first blood spot, and then he dropped right here for a second, and then he didn't go far. I couldn't see him anymore because of the tall grass out here. So he only went another 10 yards, and that's where he lays. So really nice buck. Yeah, nice one. Nice old buck. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'll take him. Nice, definitely been doing some fighting, for sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got some broken stuff.
And my brother had one on his side too, so I think we know who he was fighting.
Yes, sir.
I think he was fighting the one that Junior had on his left side. All right, well, I was able to get my buck today. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He would have been an 8, but he's a 7 point. He broke it off. Definitely been doing some fighting. Appreciate my brother for helping me get him out the woods. And like I said, my brother had a nice one out there in the field. It came right underneath his stand. He just didn't have a shot with his bow. And I didn't realize when I shot, he actually still had the deer underneath him. And he said the buck still just stood there. He didn't know what was going on. He ended up leaving, going out slowly. So hopefully he'll come back in the morning from a brother and we'll knock down another one. Until then, here's Bush Jordan, saying peace. I hope you enjoyed another Bush Jordan production. Please take care, enjoy your families. I really enjoyed the season. It was just great. Really got to put some meat in the freezer, got to see a lot of activity.
got out with my family, my friends, and that's what it's all about. Being blessed with a beautiful home, being able to share it with my family. No family is perfect, but to be able to come together and share each other's love is nothing like it. Be blessed, be safe, and enjoy the woods.